is further along the way than OgsTheWind, continuing to spread creep, continuing to move this spine crawler up here. Great defensive positioning for both players. We saw the double queen block here, and it looks like we just have a Zergling scouting out the base. He does, I'm sure, see the Spire. Yes, he does see the Spire, and that's all he needed to see, although it is his worst fear realized. And it looks like we got a ghost hatchery going down for CheckPrime here, and a hatchery going down for OgsTheWind. These players both have incredible game sense, expanding at the exact same time when they know they're in a safer position to do these things. Some Zerglings moving in to get a little bit of scouting information. Will they get hit by the Banelings? Doesn't look like it. He does see what he needs to see. He doesn't know about this Spire coming up, but I think he can assume so. Will he get any scouting information with these Zerglings? Oh, it's going to be close. He does see the Spire coming down for OgsTheWind. Spire is up, and 5 Mutalisks on the way for CheckPrime. This could put OgsTheWind in a really awkward spot here. Here's the 5th Mutalisk, and 5 Mutalisks is a great number of Mutalisks to have, because one volley will destroy one worker. So you get 4, you know, you're not going to be you're going to have to get an extra volley in there. 5 is just the perfect number. These queens will be defending pretty well. 3 queens down for OgsTheWind, and that does kind of put CheckPrime back in his base in a more defensive position. Queens are such a strong defensive unit against air, and we do have 5 Mutalisks coming in for OgsTheWind, going to poke around, but I think he will be confronted with these 2 queens and Mutalisks and not be able to do too much damage here. Both players just kind of dancing around here. Expansion is up for both players. Let's look at the Harvester count. Harvesters are in favor of CheckPrime here. I think he felt very safe with his Mutalisks and was able to produce some drones instead. And I think we should see, we do have 3 queens now. Excellent for defending and just taking the game into the macro game. Very seldom do we see these Zerg vs. Zergs get into this more stalemate macro state, this stale macro game state. And attack is coming down for CheckPrime as Carapace is going down for OgsTheWind. This game is such a mirror match. Such a mirror match, spreading his creep out. And I think it would be wise for one of these players to get a Hydra Den, get a more a stronger unit versus these other mutas. But who am I to judge? This is OgsTheWind and CheckPrime. So let's look at the unit counting station here. We do have 2 more Mutalisks for OgsTheWind, and I think once we start to see oh my god, 7 Corruptors coming down for CheckPrime, and I think this will swing the game in favor for CheckPrime. Corruptors are an excellent unit to get when you're in this Muta versus Muta battle. They can really change the game. That's a lot of Corruptors, and I think we will see CheckPrime moving out here pretty soon to deal some damage, because honestly there are no Corruptors for the yellow Zerg player OgsTheWind here. This could get real ugly for him. He does have more Mutalisks than CheckPrime, but I think these Corruptors are just going to do so much damage. We will see 7 Corruptors on the field in concert with these Mutalisks, and he's just staying in a defensive position here, hatching even more Corruptors. Here we go. I think he's about to move out, and he might actually roll in with some Banelings at the same time. As a Zerg player, I love doing this. He is just moving out with some Speedlings, though. Big push coming for CheckPrime, just testing the water with this first Zergling. He will see quite a few Mutalisks, but I think he should have no fear. But he is moving back. This game is such a stalemate. Oh man, and Infestors are being hatched over here for OgsTheWind. And if you get a fungal growth down on this patch of units here, that could be so deadly. All those Zerglings are going to die. All those Mutas and Corruptors are going to get fungled up in that cloud. Look at this collection of Overlords just kind of tweaking out over here. That's pretty fucked up. So, wow, huge freaking cloud of Mutalisks here. 14 Mutas. And continuing to just send in a couple Zerglings to figure out what's going on. And I actually really do like what OgsTheWind is doing here, and I think this might actually swing the game in favor for OgsTheWind, since he has so many damage-dealing units here. As good as Corruptors are, you're just solely using this unit to just blast down mutas. It's a muta killing unit only, and you're oh man, this is not looking good for CheckPrime. These Hydras are just melting these Corruptors, and you can see what I mean. All those mutas were lost, and these Corruptors are just preventing these mutas from dealing damage. But now there are these Hydras and Festers, all these Queens. The creep spread is completely connected between the two bases now, making Queens a very good unit. Kind of just dancing around here. Does he have enough? He does have enough for 2 fungal growths, and those could be key fungal growths. Losing a lot of Zerglings there, just undefended. Moving in with this big force. Oh man, fungal growth going down on all these Corruptors. Just blasting them, and we get the GG from CheckPrime. And I love watching these Zerg vs. Zerg games just completely evolve and see which choices become so key for players. And I think the transition into Hydras, as I said before, was so key for OgsTheWind. Look at this. Just Corruptors doing not a whole lot against this huge Hydra army. So I hope this was a learning experience from these top 2 Korean Zerg players. Zerg vs. Zerg is one of those very confusing matchups for everyone. I hope you have a good one. TinkerJoe out.